Pretty much all of Gen Z has had phones for quite a while now, and it's no secret that phones are pretty much just a new drug of our generation. So anyways, in this video, we're going to talk about the good and the bad of phones. Alright, so I'm pretty sure everyone knows this one, and it's not really uncommon knowledge that most of us spend way too much time on our phones. It definitely feels better on the extreme of not being on your phone, but I'll be perfectly honest, being in between is alright, especially depending on what you're doing with your phone. So I mean, we're gonna go over how to get over screen time at the end of the video. For now, let's just talk about the bad stuff. Obviously, being on your phone that long just creates so many issues with just time management and crap. Pretty much all of your day staring at blue light, it just messes up your sleep, it messes up your mood. Anything that you have a problem with, it'll probably be a part of that in some way. Maybe not the main factor, but it definitely is not a good thing to be on your phone this often, you know what I mean? Especially if you're one of those people I'm seeing with like 10-hour, 24-hour, not 24-hour, you get what I mean, like 14-hour long screen time. Screen time is just not good for our generation. I don't have anything against being on your phone, especially since we'll talk about like the good parts of having a phone, because I'm not completely anti-phone. Hell, I'm recording this on a phone. Scrolling is bad not just because A, it's a time waster, but B, it's also just bad for your brain to be introduced to a bunch of those new concepts like constantly. People who are a lot smarter than me basically just say like, hey, when you introduce your brain to a UFC fight, then a Minecraft clip, those dopamine hits, A, screw up your dopamine so you just don't have motivation throughout the day. Obviously, I think a lot of people know that. It's just not good for your mental health to be introduced to negative concepts really quick or really anxiety-inducing things, which we're kind of going into in a second. Being on your phone and scrolling and seeing all that new stuff constantly, that's why I say the minimum is probably 5 to be like healthy. But even then, I would highly suggest just not scrolling, like getting in the habit, weaning it down, which we'll actually talk about. If your screen time's 8 hours, but it's 8 hours of podcasts and music, probably chill. I don't think it's a big deal if you're on your phone listening to some educational ass podcast or
Patrice jerking off at my house before. This is
even if you're watching like stupid stuff, as long as you're not scrolling, you're kind of not screwing up your brain just because you're introducing yourself to content that's not dumb. You know what I mean? You're just not actually literally rotting your brain. And here's what I've been alluding to the entire time. This is going to be a little bit more serious, but the mental health stuff of being on your phone. I'm going to be real. With my anxiety issues, I feel like it has been made way worse being on the phone. I'm not blaming phones on all the big issues here, so please don't take this video like out of context like that. But what I am saying is like, if you're having a bad day and it's already something that you struggle with, being on your phone does not help. And I know that from personal experience. I've had really anxious days, and I made a video where I talked about like, even when I'm in my car, like I've just gotten out of the habit, but before I would always just blast YouTube videos or I'd scroll while I'm driving. Like that is insane that my brain like actually thought that was okay. Now I'm looking at like this clear, like almost Aristotle's like meditative perspective, and I'm like, you need to zen out in the car, dude. Like, this is insane. I mean, think about it. If I hit the gym and then go to work and then I'm just blasting stuff through my speakers, my brain never has downtime in between that. And phones have normalized that now, where we just constantly are feeding just this literal pipeline of either slop or, even if it's important, just never giving yourself a break. Early humans did not have this issue. We're reading, and when they walked to work, crazy, when they rode their horse to work, silent. And if it wasn't, they were still getting what they were thinking out and still processing it with another person, son, daughter, wife, friend, right? I mean, obviously it's not freaking triple T reels and brain rot and crap, you know what I mean? It was just a much easier thing on your brain. There's days where my anxiety is out and freaking just fluttering, and it is terrible, and I feel awful. As someone who is like, I have ADHD, I've had it for my entire life, like, it is just not good for especially people in my situation, but I just think everyone, man. And I just hope that people like wake up and realize that. And I want people to just be able to use their phones for the good, because like, we're going to get into that. Phones are not all bad. So we're going to talk about the good now, kind of like what I just alluded to. The good thing, being more in touch. I genuinely do think that being more in touch with your friends, your family, is so helpful. And even something like FaceTime, oh my gosh, dude, I love that I can see my cousins that are across the country. And I love being able to do that. It is a blessing from God that we are able to use a phone. Having a phone and being able to speak with people is so great at a distance. Like, I mean, it was its original use. I mean, the first phone, that's what it was only for, is talking to people. You know, we've deviated heavily from that. But like having a phone and being able to talk to people in your family that you've never been able to talk to before, or you would have had to have written letters to, basically responding to a text that was sent 4 months ago, that is the main good that I'm really going to hit at here. But the second thing is also super important too. Learning more. Your phone is just the perfect educative tool. You can read, you can take tests, you can listen to YouTube videos. Phones literally offer so much stuff to learn from, right? It's what you do. With great power comes great responsibility. You know what I mean? So you really do need to understand, like, if you use that knowledge correctly, it's kind of amazing. Now listen, I understand that it's all up to one person. I mean, for all of history, you could have picked up a book and learned pretty much whatever you want. But dude, it is so great to be able to watch 5 TikToks about something, figure out the basics like that, and then go on YouTube and just get into something. Like, I'm someone who bounces between concepts a lot. I don't think with everything, but with a lot of things. And I'll tell you right now, my brain thrives if I'm actually trying to educate myself. I'm going to be honest, like, school is not my greatest environment. I didn't do awful when I got older, but it wasn't great. But I'll tell you right now, I learned way more about what they were teaching me in classes on YouTube than I ever did sitting in the chair in the classroom. I will be so for real, and I will die on that hill. Learning on the phone is very real. We need to stop demonizing it, and we need to abuse it. Okay, so now we're going to actually get on to what you can genuinely do yourself to improve your life and improve your relationship with the phone, is what we'll say. Now, like I said before, I've been the dude with 1 hour screen time. I've been the dude who hasn't touched his phone for like a day, 2 days at least. I'm not honestly the greatest guy to tell you how to do that consistently, but I'm going to give you the blueprint to at least reducing your screen time. Set a timer, build a new identity around that, believe, think, act, feel, kind of thing, and you need to just slowly reduce your screen time. If you're, for example, scrolling for an hour a day, which I know is already really low and probably a goal, but let's say you're scrolling for an hour a day. If you reduce it to 45 minutes, that's a 15-minute drop. You don't need to just stop scrolling. It's just time to slightly drop it. You know what I mean? Slightly drop your cap or your threshold. Use a little bit of discipline instead of all of it, because if you try and use all of it, you try and fix all these issues at once, and this really goes for everything, you just don't achieve it. Like, I don't really know how to put it, but it's just you're putting too much pressure on yourself, you know what I mean? And also, I don't scroll. I should say that. I don't scroll. My screen time is what I'm alluding to. I don't know if I've said I've scrolled in this video. I don't scroll anymore. I haven't in a month. And even before, it was really only like an hour or two. And this is what I did. I mean, I just slowly dwindled it down. I know it's not like a fun answer or like the sexy answer, but it's the correct answer, which is more important than the fun one, right? And I kind of already hit on some things that you should do, but building a good relationship with your phone is not just, only calling and just being like an unk. Building a good relationship with your phone can be as simple as a good image would be not scrolling. You play games on your phone. Yes, I know, crazy thing to say. Playing games is not that bad for your brain. Watch content, learn stuff, call your friends on your phone. Your phone should not just be this glowing anxiety square that you're addicted to. Think of your phone like a gun in your holster. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you're a cowboy and your phone is like an addition to who you are. So maybe that sounds stupid, but for those of you who get what I'm saying, do that. Phones are not so bad depending on the person who is holding it. So now I've kind of explained to you, phones are not this big evil thing and, you should throw your phone away. I'm not trying to be that guy. What I am saying is phones have become a negative thing. They are not themselves genuinely a negative thing, societally and personally. Phones are helpful. It's just what you do with your phone. Are you going to be a cowboy, or are you just going to be the dude with a glowing anxiety square, right? Like, let's just be real. You need to really define and reshape your relationship with technology. And honestly, once you do that, you're going to get results that you are just shocked to have. Like, the good that comes out of that is not even funny. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Please like and sub. Love you all, and I'll catch you in the next one.